Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm Juan Pablo from Español and English Private Tutoring LLC. I'm one of the teachers. I've been teaching for more than 13 years. For those who do not know me, if you are already a student or you're familiar with these videos, you can skip the introduction. But also, just continue with the introduction. So my name is Juan Pablo, and also my native language Spanish. Today I'm going to talk about 6 things, mostly about things that books do not teach. And I'm going to refer to this book. Okay, there are many books out there, but I'm referring to this book specifically. You don't need to have this book for this video. It is only for students. If you're not a student, this video will help you with grammar and understanding the following. I'm going to talk in this video about regular verbs, how to translate to into Spanish, the verbs pasar, tomar, and estar. If you are a student, please follow your book. If not, just watch the video and learn something new. Or if you want to learn Spanish or improve it, you can go to our website at espeng.net. Again, espeng.net. The link is in the description. Okay, we are going to start. So, for those who have the book, please go to page 56. On this page, they are saying something like the present tense is used to express the English simple present, I think, and the English present progressive tense, I am singing. So books that are in English and Spanish have mistakes and are missing information. I've been teaching for more than 13 years, as I explained before to our students, and I haven't found a book that is perfect. The best books are only Spanish, but for first level students, it's quite challenging to read something in Spanish. So that's why we use books that are in Spanish and English, but our classes are immersive. Um, so this book is wrong when it says the present tense is used to express the English simple present. That is correct, but it's not used to express progressive tense. We have progressive tense in Spanish. Okay. So let's say, let me put something here. Uh, yo estoy aquí, for example. Okay. This in English is I am here. Okay. Versus yo, yo estoy hablando. Okay. Yo estoy hablando. Maybe change this, but okay, let's leave it like that. Yo estoy hablando. So this one is simple present Spanish. Okay. And this is progressive tense in Spanish. Progressive tense in Spanish is formed with the verb start normally. There are other verbs can be used to form the progressive, the same as in English. That the verb start, progressive tense is formed with the verb start plus any word in the gerund form, any verb in the gerund form. This is, in English, it will be any ing verb. So this in English, just hablando is I am speaking. Speaking is a gerund. So that's progressive tense. The idea of progressive is that it's an action for, I'm talking only about present tense, present progressive, sorry. The idea of present progressive is that it is an action that is happening now and continues happening. Okay. Simple present is just an action that is happening, that happens now. I am here. Okay. It's not an action that is progressive. So that's the main difference. We have simple present in Spanish, and we also have progressive tense in Spanish. Also, progressive tense is very complex. There are progressive tense can be added to any tense that you know of. Okay. And if you have any questions about this, and if you're a student, you can just contact us. But if you're not, please go to our website. Again, the link is in the description, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Our information is there. So for those who have the book on page 58, so you will notice something important here. So some books, some books do the following. For example, if you have the book, check the verb entrar en at the bottom of the page. You will see yo entro, okay? You will see tú entras, and you will see usted entra. Okay? You will see that él and ella are missing. So the reason why some books do this is because second person formal, which is usted, singular, will be entra. Third person masculine will be also entra. Okay? Third person masculine singular will be also entra. And ella entra. Okay? So this is third person singular feminine. So you notice this, we have entra here, we have entra here, and entra here. All of these have exactly the same conjugation, but they are not the same thing. As I said before, this is second person formal singular, and these two are third person masculine and feminine singular. They are not the same thing. This is when it's you enter, he enters, she enters. Exactly the same conjugation. Okay. So why they omit that is that why they omitted is exactly because of this reason, because all of these grammatical persons have the same conjugation. So this means that if you give me the following sentence, entrará en casa, okay? This entra can have three different meanings in Spanish. Okay, I can interpret this as you enter. I can also interpret this as he enters or she enters. So this sentence is confusing. So because it's confusing, you need to include the subject in the sentence. So in this case, to clarify the meaning, I will say usted entra. Okay, you enter. If you don't use the subject here, I wouldn't understand what you're trying to say. This is understood. This is not needed, maybe in conversation, if you already know the topic and you know what the verb is referring to. Otherwise, you have to explain, especially in writing. Okay. So we have that. Also, the book also says the following: Nosotros entramos, okay? Vosotros entráis, and ustedes entran. They are missing ellos. Ellos is missing, and ellas is missing as well. And is for the same exact reason. Ustedes, second person plural, in Latin America, not in Spain, is entran. Ellos, which is third person plural masculine, will be also entran, and ellas, which is third person plural feminine, is also entran. So I'm giving you the same example I gave before. If you tell me entran en la casa, I'm not going to understand what you're trying to say. Okay? This is because entran can have three different meanings or three different grammatical persons. It can mean you enter, they enter masculine, or they enter feminine. Okay? So to clarify it, include the subject. Ellos enter, they enter. Okay? Remember that ellos is used for a combination of men and women or just men. Ellas is just women. The books also do not include the feminine form of nosotros, which will be nosotras. Okay. Nosotras is the feminine form. I explained this already if you are a student. And vosotros also has the same verb, the same thing. It could be also feminine. Vosotras. So these are things that most books do not include sometimes. So if you are a student, you can go to page 57. You will find all the subject pronouns there with all the conjugations, which will be more clear and it will help you understand this better in the future. You don't get confused with this. Another thing that is important here is that this is okay, just I think that's everything for now. As I said before, any questions you have, I'll answer. Okay. So the next thing that I want to explain is how to translate to into Spanish. Okay, so to in English. So you have to be careful how you translate this because in English this can be used in different ways. It has different meanings, and for this, different translations into Spanish. This is on page 60. You have the book. According to the book, the preposition a means to in English, not always. Be careful with that. A not always translates as to. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you want to say she wants to eat. Okay. To eat. In this case, the word to in English doesn't have any meaning at all. It's just telling me that the verb want is in the infinitive form. This is something we don't have in Spanish. Okay, an infinitive is just any verb that ends on ar, er, or ir. So we want to say she wants to eat. It will be ella quiere comer. So if you notice here, to is not in the sentence at all. It doesn't translate into Spanish. So that's the first thing. Another way to use to in English is like um, she wants to go to the library. She wants to go, infinitive, to the library. To go doesn't have any meaning because it's helping explain the verb go, which is in the infinitive form. But the second to is a preposition in English. So in this case, it will translate as a. Okay? In Spanish, it will translate as this. So when to in English is used with verbs of movement, she wants to go to. To go is a verb of movement. To indicate movement from one place to another, or could be also an action to another, but in this case, some kind of movement, then you translate this as a. Example, if I want to say she wants to go to the movies, it will be in Spanish, ella quiere ir a, al cine. Ella quiere ir al cine. Now, remember that if you're a student, you may know this already. If you're not, al is a contraction in Spanish. Okay, so al means exactly al. It's a combination of the preposition a plus the definite masculine article, singular l. So a l, we don't say a l in Spanish. Instead of a l, we say al in both writing and conversation. So in this case, to is translated to a because we are using a verb of movement. Now, another thing you can do in English is she works uh, she works to make money. Okay, to make money. In this case, if I can uh, change to in English to in order to, in Spanish, to will translate as para. So in English, I can say she works to make money, or I can also say she works in order to make money. In this case, it will translate as para. In Spanish will be ella trabaja para hacer dinero. I'm going to correct this. Ella trabaja para. You see? Okay. So those are the cases how to translate to me. Okay. If you have the book on page 66, page 66, you will find the verb pasar. Okay. We're going to talk about the verb pasar. According to the book, pasar means to pass by, to happen, to spend time, which is correct. But you also have to be careful because both in English Spanish, when you use a verb with a preposition, the verb can change its meaning. So to pass by, it kind of changes the meaning of this verb. Okay, I want to say to pass by. So by in this case will be por. Okay, so in Spanish to pasar, to pass by will be pasar por. We are using the preposition por. And I'm going to give you an example with this. Would be ella pasó por la casa ayer. Ella pasó We have another past tense, but just to give you an example. She passed through the house, or she passed by the house yesterday. Can also mean through in this case. Uh, to happen, it can also mean to happen. An example for to happen will be like uh, ella le pasó algo bueno ayer. Bueno, ayer. ¿Qué le pasó? A ella le pasó algo bueno ayer. Something good happened to her yesterday. And it can also mean to spend time. Spend an example. Ella pasó mucho tiempo contemplando el atardecer. Ella pasó mucho tiempo contemplando el atardecer. She spent a lot of time contemplating the sunset. That's the verb pasar. Now, this can become even more complex. So here I'm using the verb only as transitive, but a verb can be intransitive, reflexive, it can be a verb of reverse construction. You can use it in many ways. And on each, it may change the meaning. So there are verbs in Spanish that can have 60 different meanings, and for that reason, 60 different translations. And it's the same in English. One verb or one word in English can have many meanings, and for that, different translations into Spanish. On page 67, we're going to talk now about the verb tomar. Tomar. So, by the way, I want to clarify that even though this book has mistakes, it's not so bad. I've tried other books before, and I think this is one of the best ones, even though it has mistakes and it has some misinformation. I'm talking about books that are in English and Spanish. So, tomar, on page 67, is a verb that also has several meanings. It has, I'm only sure it has more than what the book is teaching you here, but we're going to keep it simple for now. Tomar, according to the book, means to take, to have something to drink, to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So the mistake here is that in Spanish, it's very rare to say to have lunch or to have dinner. Okay? Even to have breakfast, sometimes we don't say that. Because to have breakfast has its own verb. To have lunch, it has its own verb, and the same with dinner. Example. So I'm going to tell you and give you an example for this one. To take. Start with to take. Ellos tomaron las llaves de la mesa ayer. Yeah. To take. They took the keys from the table yesterday. That's one. To have something to drink. Ellos tomaron agua anoche. Simple. They drank water yesterday. Okay. Um, basically means that. And I'm going to keep it simple because this verb can also be reflexive, but I'm not going to go there yet. Um, the other thing is to have breakfast. Yeah. So in Spanish, it is correct to say to have breakfast. Example, ellos toman desayuno todos los días a las 9 de la mañana. Ellas toman desayuno todos los días a las 9 de la mañana. Ellas toman desayuno todos los días a las 9 de la mañana. Okay? This in English will be they have breakfast every day at 9 a.m. What we don't do is this. We don't say this in Spanish, and this is the part the book is wrong. Ellas toman almuerzo. This is wrong. Okay, we don't say that. Or ellas toman la cena. Okay? And the reason why this cena and tomar la cena, tomar almuerzo are wrong, because in this case, tomar desayuno it kind of means to drink breakfast. This is something we say because most of the time, a lot of times people in Hispanic countries do not eat heavy breakfast. A heavy breakfast, they just eat maybe a cafe and cookies or things like that, or but something soft. Um, okay. Now another way to do this, but this is to take lunch or to have lunch. This is not correct because we don't drink the lunch or we don't drink the dinner. That's how we see it in Spanish. Instead of saying that, we have a very specific verb for this. It would be ellas cenan, which comes from the verb cenar, cenan. They eat lunch. That's how we say it. They eat lunch todos los días a las 9 de la mañana. So they lunch. Like this is a verb that you don't use in English. We say they lunch at. I'm not sure if they eat lunch is correct, but in English. But yes, in Spanish it is. We have a verb for that. Now we also have a verb for dinner. It will be. I'm sorry. This is cena is dinner. So now we also have a verb for lunch. Will be a almorzar. Almuerzan. This is how we conjugate it. Yes, almuerza. It says to have lunch, and the other one that I explained before is to have dinner. Now, we also, as I explained before, we also have a verb for this. So you can say this sentence in two ways. I can say ellas toman desayuno, or I can also say ellas desayunan. So, all that correct. Okay. Um, so we are done with this verb. Um, Now we are going to talk another minute. Ahora, so for those who have the book, on page 67, exercise 5.5, they're saying a K part of the exercise would be a qué hora blank ustedes el almuerzo. Okay, so let's change the sentence to make it correct. Will be a qué hora blank ustedes el desayuno. So please change that. Okay. Change number 1 from exercise 5.5. If you already did this for all the students, you answer shouldn't change. If you are not a student, then try to solve this one with what I just explained as part of the exercise. Another thing that we need to change on exercise 5.5 is the number 2. So here I want to explain the verb start. For number 2, I want to explain the verb start. And if you are a student, maybe I think you should know this already. But the verb start, as I said, for those who have been taking classes, the verb start is mainly used for very precise times. It's not used for general ideas. So in English, you can say la niña, the female child is sick because doesn't wear a jacket in winter. Okay. In winter is a very general idea. It can be any winter. So we don't use the verb start for that for general ideas. Okay. To make this sentence better, let's change number 2 to the following. La niña blank una chaqueta, una chaqueta en el invierno. So here you need to use the verb llevar. If we conjugate this verb. Okay, that would be better. So the verb llevar is more can be used for general things. Now for the verb start, if you still want to use the verb start, in this case, I cannot say en el invierno. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to put the example here. Ella está enferma porque no se puso su chaqueta hoy. This is how we use the verb start. Ella está enferma porque no se puso su chaqueta hoy. She is sick because she didn't wear her jacket today. You see, today is a more precise time. I'm not saying in the winter, I'm saying today. In this case, I can use start. Okay. For those who have the books, now let's talk about number 6 on exercise 5.5. If you don't have the book, just continue. Just try to solve this question. Uh, this this question. So Joe, okay. So this is what the book says. Joe, dos bolígrafos y tres lápices a la clase de matemáticas. Dos, dos bolígrafos y tres lápices a la clase de matemáticas. Tres lápices a la clase clase de matemáticas. Okay. Here you can use the verb llevar as well. Okay. For those who have the book, then you're gonna have to change this verb here. Okay, so I'm sorry. In the book, it says that you can use the same verb more than once. So you can use in these two cases. You can use llevar. Okay. So if you are a student, try to solve this one. Yo dos bolívaros. Now the thing here is that this sentence would be better if you add siempre. Okay. So in other words, this in English will be I. Uh, I always take. I take to. So without this word, it will be I take 2 pens and 3 pencils to math class. Okay. That's a weird sentence even in English. It is better if you say I always take 2 pens and 2 pencils to math class. So we need a transitive verb that the transitive word siempre to explain better the sentence to make it more complete, to help the readers understand that we are talking about a, an action that always happens. Okay. That's all for chapter 5 for those who have the book, and that's all that I was going to explain today. So as I said before, you have any questions, please contact us. If you're a student, you can go to our website at espeng.net. There you will find more information to contact us or to continue with classes. You want to learn Spanish or improve it. Thank you for watching this video and best luck. See you next time.